Hi everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Pitstop Fracas. I'm your host Anik and today I am joined by Mahad, Richard, Chris and Kwame to run through our first ever fight card. We had a lot of interaction on the account this week, on the Twitter account. And someone put out a crazy tweet, I don't know who it was, but all of a sudden the Alonso fanboys, just started coming on us. So we thought, you know what, let's get the guys around the table and discuss our first ever fight card. Today we're pinning that guy, they leaving me in no space, Fernando Alonso. We're pinning him against Crash Bam Torpedo Sebastian Vettel. Let me introduce my host, not my host, the panelists. Let me introduce them. How you guys doing? Let me come to you first, Mahad. How you keeping?
I'm okay. I'm here. A lot of Vettel versus Alonso talk. We started a little bit of an online war, so we're just here to have a little discussion about it, civil discussion.
Just a little debate, innit? Just a little debate. Let's see. Let's see what you got to say about. I don't know. You haven't revealed your choice yet. Do we know what corner you're in yet, Mahad?
All will be revealed.
All be revealed. Kwame, let me come to you. You've had to jump in last minute for Chris, but yeah, how you keeping, mate?
I'm good, bro. I have to see yourself quick for my boy Chris in the pod. I was chilling, on Sunday, play for manager. Just wanted, to get a quick exclusive, off this pod, but I have to come on. Yeah. I'm not gonna say who I'm going for just yet, but don't watch my tweets. Don't watch my tweets. Don't watch it.
Yeah, we asked you to jump on, and you said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go and get my drip." And I don't know if you had a quick change of clothes before jumping on the pod, or whether you got a drink. I don't know what it was, but. Do you want to let us know what was going on there?
I said drink. I need to get water because I wasn't obviously prepared to talk because my throat's really dry. So I thought, I need to get some water.
That's cool, bro. My throat's really dry as well. And for anyone that is listening or that is watching through YouTube, I am sipping that wine. I'm still enjoying that 100 Lewis wins. I'm stretching it out nice and long the way Lewis did from 99 to 100. But we'll get onto that in a good minute. JL, how you keeping, brother? I actually, speaking of drinks, you have got a drink, by the way. That is a heavy mimosa you got there.
I am ready for what's about to come. Certain drivers will be pulled into this debate, but for fans to know, this is Alonso versus Vettel. Anyone else who's mentioned, it's just agenda.
Okay. Well, we'll see that. Well, I think you revealed which side you're going to be backing. That's Alonso, yeah? Okay. Yeah, there, if you just toasted, so yeah, you're definitely backing Alonso. Last but not least, my Scouse brother, Richard. How you keeping, mate?
I'm all good, bro. I'm all good. How are you after very interesting week they've had, Anik? You've been getting palm left, right and centre from all corners of the globe, so... Need to check in on your mental health, because
this week has been difficult. I've had you guys at me about the Lewis Hamilton stuff. I said, by the way, I need to rebuttal that, so we'll come on to that at a later stage. There was some stuff said on last week's pod, which I didn't quite agree with. I took an injunction out. So how those WhatsApp messages or whatever got leaked, we need to investigate that, Richard. And obviously the Liverpool stuff, yeah.
She said the injunction wasn't it was a void, so
well, quite clearly it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I got finished.
We stand with Anik though, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. we got to get those t-shirts made. We stand with Anik. But that was a crazy pod last week. But yeah, as ever, let me get the admin stuff out of the way. If you're enjoying what we do, make sure you get at us in the mentions at Pitstop Fracas on Twitter. If you like what we're saying, if you don't like what we're saying, make sure you mention us. We're always up for a discussion, always up for a debate at Pitstop Fracas. So yeah, get in our mentions on Twitter and we'll be more than happy to debate with you. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Touchline Media, and as ever, hit that notification bell so you get notified of any new videos that we upload. Cool. So, I'm sure as you can tell from the title of this video, we are having an Alonso versus Sebastian Vettel fight card. And to debate the Alonso corner, I have Mahad and JL. And for Vettel, we got Richard and Kwame. Now, before we get deep dive into certain criteria we have for each of the drivers, I just want to make sure, guys, that we need to keep this amicable as possible. Yeah, before you guys start landing your punches, we want to make sure that these are two great drivers, and we're not trying to throw shade on them. We're just going to have a little debate to decide who was the better driver. So, on the criteria that we have, we're going to be looking at their stats and qualifying performances. Then we're going to look into their title years. So obviously Alonso picking up the title in 2005, 2006. Vettel from 2010 to 2014. We're then going to touch on some of their great drives and standout performances, followed by their career choices. So all well and good, they were at the top, and whilst they were riding high, did they not make the right choice in terms of moving teams? And then following that, we're going to look at how they're doing in the current 2021 season. So, all of that out of the way, let me come to you first, Richard. Now tell me why Sebastian Vettel has the better stats than Alonso, because I'm looking at it right now and I'm looking at the pole position percentage, I'm looking at the win percentage, I'm looking at the podium percentage, and it's quite clear to see Vettel has the advantage over Alonso.
Yeah, well, over the course of the careers, who's done the bigger madness? It's obviously Sebastian Vettel. I think it's like 53 wins. So let me pull up the stats. Don't worry. Let me make it
53 right. Wins, 57 poles, 122 podiums for Seb Vettel.
And 13 fastest laps and 4 world championships in a row. Certain other man's GOAT has only managed to do half of that. They could have got a bit more, but when it comes to the heat of the moments, when it comes to when the cooker's on gas mark 6, they fall under the pressure. You know what I mean? They don't get the job done. Seb's proven, over 2 of his world championships, over 2010 and 2012, when the pressure's only got the job done. But a certain Spaniard, couldn't get that job done. So the record speaks for himself. He's a legend of the sport. He would go down in history, no doubt about it. People saying, "Oh yeah, it's Newey tax and all that." You still need a competent driver to get the job done. If it was so much Newey tax, why didn't Webber get its world title? Of course he came close in 2010, but he didn't get the job done, and it was usually miles off his teammate. So you still need a competent driver, even when you have a competent car. So as I said, the record speaks for himself. Seb has had a better career than Alonso, and that's facts.
Yeah, quite simple. We can hear the silence from JL and Mahad. And I suppose to probably back that up, I'm not taking any sides, by the way. I'm trying to remain as impartial as possible. But I suppose the big stat speaks for itself, Richard. 4 drivers' titles is greater than 2. Mahad, is there any reason why those 2 drivers' titles from Alonso in 2005 and 2006 can in some way, shape or form trump the 4 titles that Vettel had from 2010 to 2013?
First of all, Richard, load of hogwash. I know you said keep it civil. Hogwash, I don't want to hear it. Firstly, you measure a driver's achievements in the context of the circumstances that was there. Vettel was in the fastest car for 4 years. He did what was expected. Every other driver, if you put Hamilton in that car, Button in that car, Alonso in that car, is doing the same thing. It's nothing special. It's nothing special whatsoever. And I think it's being completely overblown, the achievements of Vettel in that circumstance in relation to other drivers in that period of time. So when we talk about Alonso winning 2005, 2006, yes, he beat Schumacher. At that time, the car was better. But at the end of the day, you just beat a guy that just beat Michael Schumacher at the end of the day. And in that period of time between 2010 and 2013, when Vettel was dominating, you had the fastest car. You did what you expected to do. Any competent driver. Mentioning Webber. Webber's not that guy. So let's not mention Webber. I don't want to hear that about beating your teammate, because he was at the twilight end of his career. He retired. He was not that guy. So Vettel did what was expected, but I don't think any of those 38 wins that he got at Red Bull were amazing. I'm not saying that Vettel's a trash driver. I'm not saying that he's not a legend in the sport he is. But in comparison to Alonso, at that time, Alonso was, I think, 3 points away in winning 2012 and nearly won 2010. He had no right to even be anywhere near him in the first place. So it's big question marks on Vettel.
Okay, fair enough. I can see where you're coming from there. But I'm going to come to you on this, JL. I mean, can you not say that in Vettel's years of dominance from 2010 to 2013, he had a lot more world champions on the grid that he had to compete with compared to Alonso in 2005 and 2006?
He may have had more champions, but as Mahad said, Red Bull were the fastest car by a distance. So similar to how Mercedes has been the fastest car on the grid, as you said, you could put anyone in that car. And you know, talking about Mark Webber, the second he had a competent teammate, Danny Rick, what happened? Danny Rick beat him. So is he really? Is it more the car than him? I'll say so. Now, listen, 4-time champion. You can't sniff at it. Well done to him. Congratulations, X, Y, and Z. But it was an era whereby this guy would go out and qualifying, do one lap qualifying at the end, and come first. Like that shows how fast that car was, that they took the absolute piss. So for me, those titles have a bit of an asterisk because it's similar to PSG in the French league. If you're by far the best and you win by a margin, you've done the bare minimum.
Fair enough. I can potentially see where you're coming from there. Kwame, going to get you involved in the action as well. What do you have to say about JL just saying there that Sebastian stuck it last lap of qualifying and then was able to, you know, translate that into a victory?
I mean, with his playing by last shot qualifying. Do you know how hard it is to do last shot qualifying? Under pressure, the clock's going down, and then you do in the last minute and you get in pole. It's a very, very tough score on the raid. I mean, it shows that, you know, he didn't bullet, and, you know, it shows that he had the qualifying speed as well. And to add to that with qualifying as well, let me get my stats up here as well real quick. He's third in the all-time poll, in all-time polls. Where's
Qualifying, yeah.
Yeah, for qualifying,
Alonso.
Nowhere to be seen.
Wait.
He's 53rd for all-time pole positions.
Sorry, let me just rebuttal that, right? You said that it's hard to go out last. We forget during that period of time, that was a conscious choice by Red Bull because they had the fastest car. So he literally did it as a big, so you can't swear, but, you know, big dick measuring competitions that I'm the fastest. I'm gonna do one lap. I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna beat you. That's more to do with the car than him.
So where was Mark Webber at the time? Sorry, sorry. I'm all of a sudden. Sorry, I'm going to keep quiet.
It's a valid point.
I'm putting my bias aside. I'm putting my bias aside. I'm going to put my bias aside.
Anybody else listening, it's quite apparent and clear that Anik does not like Alonso. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind.
That's not true. That's not true. He's steady.
I'm trying to stay impartial. I'm trying to stay as impartial as possible.
Also, it doesn't matter.
Why, first of all, why are people mentioning qualifying? Why are we not talking about race?
Qualifying? No. I personally think qualifying and stats.
If you qualify first in a race, for a race in the fastest car, you did what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, simple. And
but in certain years, Alonso had the 4th fastest car. Why would you expect him to get pole? He's still winning races.
Exactly. And also, to rebuttal to add to that, right? You talk about Mark Webber. I throw you Rosberg Barrichello, Felipe Massa, Bottas. It doesn't matter who your second driver is.
Don't compare Webber to Barrichello.
I'm just saying.
This is the same Webber who in 2010 was not competing with Vettel. Last 2 races of the season for that same championship. Mm-hmm. Webber himself was also a late bloomer of a driver as well, so he's a bit of a rare case. Most drivers you see now, they're coming when they're young. He was a very
Massa was
was Red Bull.
And Massa was one turn away from being a champion. So really and truly, back to Anik's point, supposed to be impartial. It doesn't really matter qualifying. Doesn't matter who your second driver is. Ultimately, he had the fastest car and he stuck it on pole. Simple as that. There's no if or buts about it. That's not something you need to shout about.
Man is about racing. He's got more wins than pole positions. Says it all. On a Schumacher flex. More wins than poles.
That's fair enough.
Okay, that's cute.
That's fair enough.
Cute. Okay. So we bought all JL's point. You were saying about, okay, Massa was one turn away from being world champion. You know, Schumacher was, you know, one non-broken Suzuka engine from being, you know, 8-time world champion. Alonso being a 1-time world champion. So it's just pedantic to me, really. You can also question the 2005 championship win, you know, because Kimi Räikkönen was unbelievable that year as well. But, you know, Alonso's managed to scrape a lot across the line. Also, this thing of like, oh, you know, if you're in the fastest car, you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. You can use that same argument against Schumacher at Ferrari and Lewis at Mercedes, you know. So why is it different with Vettel at Red Bull? Why is it different under some? If you're a quality driver and you have the fastest car and you do what you need to do, should that not be applauded in some ways, especially if it's against competent competition, just like Vettel had for 2010 and 2012? Can't we not do that? Or is it just a bit different because, you know, agenda and whatever?
We're not downplaying it. We're just saying he did what he had to do. Simple as that.
Could you say the same for Schumacher then?
Yeah, of course you can.
Of
course.
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can say the same for Hamilton as well then?
Better than them two, then, yeah? So Alonso's better than Lewis and Michael, yeah?
Hamilton's situation was different because he had Rosberg as a teammate in an equal car.
Yeah.
For 3 seasons. So who's he got now?
And he dealt with him.
Okay, he didn't smoke him, but still.
But he did what he needed to do. He showed that he's the better driver.
Okay. So why is there a report that, you know, Vettel's had Mark Webber's teammates?
Why are you in the fastest car? Why are you Vettel? Let's take for example 2012. Why are you in the fastest car and you're barely winning the title against somebody that's in the 4th fastest car?
Okay, Mahad, on that point, I want to dive into this, yeah? I want to dive into those title years. Now, you've just touched on Vettel. Let's go through Vettel's wins, 2010, 11, 12, 13, and let's have an honest discussion about it. Yeah? So you just turned around and said, was it 2012 that he won it by 1 point? Or a few points? Or he went down to the last race?
3 points.
3 points. Yeah? I mean, you got anything to say about that?
I've just literally just said what I had to say. That he was in the 4th fastest car. He outperformed his own car and got to nearly a title out of it. So the Lotus was faster, the McLaren was faster. McLaren was faster, but had reliability issues. And the Red Bull was faster.
All right. So are we agreeing then that the Red Bull over the course of those 4 seasons was the fastest car? Yes. Are we agreeing? All 5 of us agreeing on that?
I'd say it was slightly slower in the last year because they banned the blown diffuser, but it was the fastest car.
Richard, Kwame, agree?
Yeah, it's the fastest car.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
So it can be argued that Vettel, during those 4 years, done his job.
I don't see why a man should get, I don't know, his achievements watered down for doing his job because...
He barely did it.
He
barely did the job.
What do you mean he barely did it? It doesn't matter if it's by 2 points, it's by 200 points then. It doesn't matter if it's by 200 points.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. In the last 30 years, how many... name me 3 times where the weaker cars won the championship.
2007, I think. 2007.
Yeah. Kimi, yeah. Give me 5.
Majority of the time,
that's point difference.
Wins the championship. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you making it so close?
Sorry, and 99 as well.
Why are you making the title race so close that it's going down to the last day against the 4th fastest car?
Well, he had more competition, didn't he? That was it. It was more close in those years. So
no.
Yeah, he's taken points off what Seb would maybe usually get. Other drivers have got it due to whatever circumstances.
If Alonso was in that Red Bull, he'd walk it.
Would he?
He would walk all 4 seasons. He would walk it.
Would walk it.
I'm about to say,
Sure about that, yeah?
There would be no title race.
Yeah.
If Hamilton was
Okay.
in that Red Bull, there would be no title race.
That's big. 2012 was a bit fluke year though, because that's the year where the first 7 races, different drivers won every race. You know, Maldonado winning the race in that year. Like that year.
Yeah, and I think it was different constructors as well. Come on, man. That counts some weight. I think 6 different drivers, 6 different constructors won like the first 6 races or something. Something ridiculous
7,
like that.
Yeah. 7 races, 7 different winners, yeah. 2012.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the fastest car won, right? Fastest constructors won, right?
But it just shows the spread between the cars. You know, what wasn't as great.
It was that year. How competitive was that year?
Wait, what you're
Listen, at the end of the day, your boy still failed, innit? And what about that? Your boy still failed at the end of the day. So no matter if it's 3 points or
But what's
300
happened?
points, your boy still failed.
happened?
So what?
What's happened since 2014 from that point? Or for your boy?
Oh, it can be argued what's happened for both of them. What's happened for both of them since 2014?
Well, what's happened since 06?
Alonso
Both of them as well.
Alonso remains.
Alonso came up with Mercedes and milked the field. That's happened after 2014.
Okay, Alonso remained. Alonso, even though he made a poor choice by going to McLaren, was more competitive. He won't get fisted up by his teammate.
Got beat by Jensen.
Overall, at that period of time.
I said it this season.
But when both of them were driving for McLaren, that period of time,
still got beaten the season, didn't he? Still got beaten the season.
If I'm bringing up,
Hey, this Richard guy shameless, bro.
If it was really all that, you would have beat Jensen, innit? Ain't Jensen mid?
But how many L's has Vettel held in his career already?
Don't worry, I got
How
that.
you watch that? How you watch that 34?
So
You said he's washed. He's got more podiums than Alonso this season.
Because
No, that's my team, man.
That's a good point, though.
And that Alpine's faster.
Who's got more points?
Faster car.
Alonso.
In the faster car. Alonso in the faster car.
Why has Stroll got better race finishes overall?
He's got.
Well, because Stroll's doing spot on gotten against Vettel, so what you expect?
No.
Stroll's getting like 9,
If you're that guy, if you're really that guy, why is Stroll even me?
Fam, that Aston Martin's a poor car. That Aston Martin's a poor car anyway.
That's that team, no?
but
It's a poor car anyway. That Alpine is way faster than that Aston Martin. And plus, if Alonso's really that guy, why is he only just beating Ocon in qualifying 8-7? At least Vettel's beating Stroll a bit.
You're talking about 40-year-olds right now, yeah. But your guy Alonso, say your guy Vettel, right? Anytime he came up against a competitive teammate, he lost. He lost to Charles Leclerc twice, rookie. Danny Rick.
Engine.
Doesn't matter. Same car, is it not?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't.
Same Ferrari. He lost twice. Danny Rick.
Maybe it wasn't.
Who replaced an incompetent Webber, consistent but not that great. Lost to him, and currently, if I'm not mistaken, losing to Stroll Jr.
He's not losing to Stroll at all.
You know to Stroll.
He's not losing to Stroll.
That's a low blow, by the way, JL.
He's head of Stroll.
What is?
He's not losing to Stroll on points. He's not losing to Stroll on qualifying. He's not losing to Stroll on podium. So why are you making up stats?
Why are you bringing in Leclerc? Why are you bringing in my boy Leclerc today?
Why are you bringing in Leclerc?
Come on.
Let's talk about Leclerc. Let's talk about Leclerc. Why are former Ferrari bosses saying that Vettel should be playing the support role for Leclerc? Elite legendary driver like Vettel getting asked, maybe you should be a support driver for Leclerc.
Because you can't spell Ferrari else FIA.
I don't think
maybe
no.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because he's 34 or what? Are you younger than Lewis and you're watching?
No.
That's just my boy, your boy.
No.
Your boy.
It always reminds me. Do you know what it reminds me?
He's ruining Van Dorn's career. He's ruining how many man's career before? PK's career.
Moving like John Cena.
He's helping out. He's helping out youths. He's helping out Stroll. He's helping out Leclerc. Vettel was the mentor, man. He's the daddy figure of the
mentor. Are you sure?
Let's
really.
Let's get some thoughts. Let's get some thoughts from.
No, Mahad. Before we get into that,
go ahead. Okay.
So before we get into that, I just want to touch, whilst we're talking about the title years, I just want to finish up on this and discuss Alonso in 2005, 2006. Quickly, Jail, let me come to you. Tell me why those are better than Vettel's four-peat.
All right, cool. So, Japan 2005, right? This was the year that so that year won his first title, and probably one of the best overtakes to ever happen. Overtook in Suzuka, overtook the current champion Michael Schumacher. 330 km. Listen, that title, because A, it wasn't expected. B, he was what? He was 20. How old is he at that time?
I think he was 23. I think he was 23.
Yeah, 24. We're 24, right?
It was a long time ago, bro.
Yeah, no. So what's about Renault that, let's ignore what happened afterwards, had expectations of, they expect to win to win the title, and literally for 2 years, it wasn't because he had the fastest car, it's because he was the best driver. Simple as that. So you can argue, there's an argument, was it Vettel, was it the car, or was it him, right? You can say, okay, fastest car. For Alonso in those 2 years, no one here can say that Renault car was the fastest on the grid for 2 years. You can't say it confidently. But he won 2 titles on the back of being the best driver. So 2 titles run on pure merit, pure ability, outweighs 4 titles when you're in the fastest car.
Richard, do you agree with that? Do you agree that the Renault was not the fastest car?
No, it was the fastest car. It definitely was the fastest car.
Why was it the fastest car?
Bro, I remember when I was a kid, that used to be smoking races. I can't lie to you. Okay, I was quite young then, and Jay was still in uni, but still, that was you can't tell me, that was the second thing. No fucking way. That car was quick. I know that car was bad boy. Jay want to do all just like cool, whatever. That car was quick, so don't deny it. And he was lucky to win those 2 titles, especially 06. So we can do all this hogwash. Cool.
Lucky.
I didn't say he wasn't I didn't say it was a slow car. It wasn't comfortably the fastest. You could have argued one of the fastest, but you can't argue for Vettel. That Red Bull was a country mile beyond everyone else. So, please explain how these titles are lucky. I'm
okay.
curious.
Okay, so obviously, go for it, Richard. Go for it. No, you finish up.
Okay, Suzuka 2006. Okay, Michael is leading the race. Correct me if I'm not Anikopedia.
Yeah, he was.
And then what happens? You get the engine blowout. What does Alonso do? Didn't Alonso start like celebrating on the radio or something that Michael blew up his engine or whatever? No,
Bring
like
back
the shame that he is.
Bring
shame that he is.
I mean, did Michael crash into his closest rival to win a title? So what? It's racing.
Like, I don't care about the celebration. I'm just saying he got lucky to win it due to the circumstances. Because any other circumstance,
because his engine blew,
he doesn't win that title. That's all I'm saying. So I say the same for Vettel. Not really, no, but that's here nor there.
Okay, I want to move swiftly on from that into any great drives that they had, whether it be in those title seasons or even outside of those title seasons, to back, how good they were on track. We come to you first, Kwame. Any standout performances that you can say for Vettel that probably eclipses Alonso's? You're thinking, yeah, Kwame?
I've got to think. I mean, I've been putting.
All right. First of all, 2012 Brazil springs to mind. If you're a Vettel fan, you look at that. First lap, he got spun round. He was at the back of the grid. He fought through the field, the last race of the calendar, to win the world championship. I mean, if that isn't a championship winning drive, I don't know what is.
Alonso stays in his ass, staring into the abyss. Yeah, most definitely, 100%. That's definitely one of his top drives. Abu Dhabi 2010 as well, when that certain Spaniard was stuck behind Martin Petrov for 40 laps. Yeah, that was also a top drive as well. What else as well? What else is top drive?
Istanbul 2010?
Hey, come on, man. That is shameless. That's shameless, bro. Don't bring up Istanbul like that. That means you're discrediting... Hold on, that means you're discrediting Lewis's win.
I mean,
Germany
Singapore 2010.
Now I'm had to get anything nasty now. Go on, go
Hey,
on.
listen,
Go on.
I get how I live. But carry on.
I was here. And listen, all I've got to say is that with certain man, they don't need their teammates to be a bit fugazi to get a win. That's all I've got to say. We all know what I'm talking about. I don't need to delve into it.
Tell us. Tell us.
Play it.
Speak it.
Well, a certain, after the Alonso, lost to Lewis to a rookie on countback, and McLaren, what did he do? Went scuppering off back to Renault, back to a safe space. And what happened? Anik, remind me of the year. Was it 2008 or 2009?
It was 2008. It was 2008.
2008.
The year is 2008. You know the race. Do you want to tell us the race?
I mean, you could do it in better detail, but as far as I'm aware, a certain man told a certain other man to delusion. Just to pull up the footage.
No, not delusion. Collusion between the host and...
For clarity...
No, this is no collusion. I'm just the encyclopedia. I'm just the encyclopedia.
That's why I'm delving for knowledge. You tell me the story then, go on. JL, you was a duty then. Go on, tell me.
In the mid-table car. My boy in Monza won with a Toyota in the rain. That's what before you can say, Vettel.
Alonso's going to do that in the Minardi, could he?
He's doing that in the Minardi. That team was nothing.
Go on.
Nothing.
The Alonso doing that Minardi? Nah, of course he didn't.
Because he's in the fucking Minardi, that's why. What are you talking about?
So what? He was in the car, Russell. A fastest car, whatever. So what's your point?
Okay.
What's your point?
Are you done with all your...
Go sip your pina colada, man.
Are you done?
Shower crash gate.
We're done.
Yeah, of course you are.
Cool. So,
firstly,
to address your point, that season with Lewis, they tied on points. So it's not like Lewis beat him in it. So let's first correct that.
The stand says what it says, isn't it? So, you know what I mean?
It is what it is, right? Yeah, it is what it is. And talking about, great races, but our drivers, if I'm not mistaken, Azerbaijan 2008, first lap, both his right tires get punctured. Man's to pit, goes from where they finished, and then finished 7th. Which, they obviously didn't win the race, but to go from dead last by 20 seconds, something like that, to finish 7th, impressive. Talking about your guy Vettel, right?
Hey, let me rebut that.
Wait.
Talk about finishing from no. Let me rebut that. JD 2009, 20th to 2nd in his home race. How about that? 20th to 7th. That's cute. All right, cool. I keep talking.
I remember Singapore 2010. Alonso taking Vettel from the start, kept him behind him all race.
In a slower car.
In a slower car.
Yeah, I thought Vettel overtake him, man. The whole race.
Well, Singapore's hard track to overtaking it, so.
But it's not though.
I'm not sure.
It's really not though.
I'm not sure.
He's had quite a few
faster car, and you lost the race by how many?
Why couldn't Alonso overtake Petrov in 2010 then? If he was in a faster car, why couldn't he do that?
Russian page driver.
Explain that one then. He was in a Renault. My mom was in a Renault. He was in a Ferrari. Why couldn't he overtake, man? For the title, you know.
Anyway, yeah.
Was that what we're doing? Yeah. Cool.
Alonso has one race, which is obviously everyone knows it's the race, yeah.
Crash King, go on, talk about it then, King. You're gonna run away from me. Don't run from the ground.
Hold on. So just on that point, about 5 minutes ago, Richard, you referred to it. We're talking about the, we don't want to talk about this and the other. We're talking about Crashgate, which is Singapore 2008. Alonso was controversially awarded a race win for his teammate deliberately crashing out in the Grand Prix, which resulted in a safety car. The way in which it panned out as a result of Alonso's position on the track meant that he could go on to win at a track that is virtually impossible to win. So at the time that Nelson Piquet Jr. crashed, Alonso was leading the race. Obviously, safety car came out, which allowed him to pit. I can't remember, event for event how it happened, but basically that crash was staged, which allowed Alonso to win. You want to go? Do you want to take the floor, JL?
Let's say a shameless response. Go on.
Alonso still won.
Simple as.
And
That's what
the whole it was planned. This is one.
PK dropped it, man.
What
you man
do?
is shameless. You man are embarrassing, honestly. You man are embarrassing.
It was rigged. The whole thing was planned. Simmons,
your goat is rigged.
How does that make him? How does that make him not a good driver?
Cheated.
How does that erase every single
you're
race
breaking
prior
the rules.
and after that?
Michael was cheated.
How was man breaking the rules in Formula 1?
Exactly. Like all
man was driving an illegal engine in 2019.
I cheated.
Okay.
Man was driving an illegal engine in 2019. Yes or no, Rich?
Okay.
Who? Not Vettel. No, Leclerc was. Yeah.
Excuse me. They only put one illegal engine in one.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
You're shaking.
Yes.
Wow.
The rest right now.
Wow.
What's your engine cost?
Wow.
Okay.
What's your engine cost?
What I'll say is this, yeah.
Listen.
What I'll say is this, yeah. Alonso's maiden victory, yeah. Not only did he lap the existing world champion, which was Michael Schumacher at the time, he won by record 17 seconds at the time. At the time, he
Was he the
was
fastest?
Hungary, and this was and
Yes.
the youngest champion at the time.
In
Bro, this is 2003.
you're talking about you're talking about
Ferrari. This is peak Ferrari.
Peak.
you're talking about Hungary 2003, right?
Hungary
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah.
Okay.
2003. Man lapped the one of the at the time the GOAT, no, the GOAT to win his maiden F1 race here victory. Your boy ain't got nothing like that. There's not one race that you can say eclipse that.
So I think
they ain't got a race. They ain't got a race that's better than 2000. They ain't got a race that's better than 2014 Russia. By Alonso. They ain't got a better one than that because he was driving.
Yeah, but we got more
fucking
race
Nissan
wins, so
Micra.
fuck all that shit. No
He's
one
driving,
cares.
he's driving a Nissan Micra and got
No,
P2
no.
in it. One of the worst Ferrari
Nissan
cars
Micra.
in the history of Ferrari.
No. The debate is who's a
One
better
of the worst
driver.
Ferraris of all time.
so. Whilst the Alonso guys are throwing the punches right now, the one thing that I think you guys are missing is Vettel also had a bit of controversy as well, and I want Mahad to speak on what happened in 2017 in Azerbaijan with Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, when he decided he couldn't win the title, so he decided to crash into Lewis Hamilton and do bumper cars.
I think it was a bit early to say that the title was decided, but it was still early. It was about 5 or 6 races in.
He
but
was
yeah,
already-
Was that the
You
one
got
where
brake
he,
checked what you want him to do?
was that the one where he did this? He did this. Literally crashed into him.
No, we trying to
But-
chat to a minute and then obviously, steering
trying to
locked
chat
in, do you know
to
what I mean? Yeah,
Safety car
little
weaving in.
conversation, you know what I mean?
Is this
Like,
what
why
we're
did you brake check
doing
me?
to defend Vettel?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
Hey,
you
Lewis
lot
Hamilton,
are being
I need you to
shameless
eat.
too.
I don't know why.
No, you lot are being
You're
shameless too, so,
You're
boy.
comparing a bumping of a car to an actual crash gate that was fixed so he can win, compared to someone just tapping another car.
But that
It's
doesn't
a
do
little
him.
tap, you know what I
That
mean? No
was-
one got hit.
that
No
was-
one
that
died.
was team
You
orders.
know what I mean? Little tap.
I thought
That's all it
Vettel
was.
a clean driver. I thought Vettel was a clean driver.
Hey, there's no such thing as with anyone, so that
Oh,
argument's
so you
void.
accept that? Okay, so you accept that no clean drivers.
No, but
So
there's
you
different
accept-
levels though. It's one thing telling a man, yo, crash on paper so I can win this race. And it's another thing tapping into another driver, little light tap. It's a bit different,
Like
to be
that.
fair. Yeah.
Like that.
And-
Cool.
Do you want to measure the injuries that Lewis got then? Do you want to tell me about that he suffered? Tell me then, if it was that bad.
Concussion.
No. It was because the guy was
Is it,
good enough.
It was
to take him
a
out.
dangerous thing to do. Absolutely
Basically.
dangerous.
He tried to do what Michael did to Irvine, but wasn't good enough to do it.
He tried to copy his
That
idol. It
wasn't
didn't
the
work
same.
out.
That
work
wasn't
out.
the same
No.
thing. Like what?
I mean,
He tried to.
He tried to.
to be honest with you, I'm
When
actually loving
behind
this.
the
By the
safety
way,
car
guys.
going at like 10 miles an hour. What?
Even
You know-
worse. And he couldn't take him out.
Literally put him in danger. All right. That's all. That's all.
Ain't no danger.
In danger, son.
Weaving in and out as he do all the times.
I mean, Richard, what about the one of the most infamous radio messages ever? Fernando is faster than you. You remember that? Germany 2010. Yeah. So at that stage of the season, we want to speak about how Fernando was, instigating team orders there as well to try and get a race win.
Yeah, of course, because he's a bad bitch. That's what he does. He's a toxic. human being, and of course, this is what he does. But
No.
guess what? That didn't land him no world title.
No.
So
He's a multiple champion.
It's all good.
He's a multiple champion who is a goated race driver. Who, by the way, unlike your guy, has only ever lost no more than 4 points from a teammate. So this is a guy who simply wanted to win, and he knew he was a better driver. So your guy had to move.
Multi 21.
Oi.
Listen, get out you live, innit? Get out you live. You already said Webber's meaty.
If we're going to talk
okay.
about this, yeah, multi 21.
You already said Webber's meaty, so what's the issue?
Okay. Guys, we've spoken about their great drives, their standout performances. And you know what?
We did. They didn't. Just for listeners to know that.
I told you some great drives. What are you talking about?
Go back, little listeners. Listen.
I told you some good. Let me name some more. Let me name some more.
No.
Malaysia 2015, Australia 2017, Bahrain 2018. Even
they both got there.
Monaco.
No. You're naming them, but you're not actually describing what happened. Your name wins. That means nothing.
Because I'm not Anik, fam. I don't remember shit like you. I wasn't born in 1974 like you, fam. I can't remember shit. My bad.
But all I know, it was a race where, because he was in the fastest car, he qualified first, and he stayed first, and he won. Whoop-de-doo. And it up to you, man. What's next?
Well, it's up to the competition.
Next thing.
It's not my problem.
Next thing, yeah. By the way, guys, we're taking this to the streets after. By the way, we're gonna put a vote out on Twitter, to see who had the greatest career, who was a better driver. You know, Vettel greater than Alonso, Alonso greater than Vettel. We'll let the streets decide. Now, fair enough. We touched on the great performances. You guys made fantastic arguments for and against as to why Alonso or Vettel was the better driver. But I want to actually go on to what happened after each driver won those world titles. So Alonso won his 2 world titles with Renault on a high, went to McLaren, and I don't want to give away my bias here, but basically the rest is history. He really didn't reach those great heights that he'd done at Renault since then. And the same can be said for Vettel. After he left Red Bull, he had 1 year, obviously after he won the title in 2013, he had another year at Red Bull 2014, and then he moved on to Ferrari. So let me come on to you first, JL, and give me an honest assessment of Alonso after leaving Renault.
So his decision making after Renault at the time made sense. Renault had issues. We spoke about it previously. So the move to McLaren made sense. You know, heritage was McLaren. At the time they had the Lewis, who was, I think was that his first or second season? I forget.
It's his first season.
First season, yeah. And he went in expecting to be number 1 driver, no questions asked. What he didn't expect was Lewis to be as good as he did. Now, after that, you know, you make a move, it doesn't work. So you go back to your comfort zone. There's no harm in that. Unfortunately, Renault weren't who they were. Then Ferrari come calling because they recognized, all right, the new driver, who's the best driver on the grid. It was Alonso. They expected big things. He, unfortunately, partly him, partly the car, didn't meet expectations. But then Ferrari to McLaren again was a bit of an odd one. I'm gonna have to defer to Mahad about this move because I didn't get it personally. I didn't understand it. But listen, the guys had a CV that rivals most drivers on the grid. I believe that was when McLaren started having their orange livery. So I think they had. Man, you can speak on
it was a poor decision. Just to come off the back of you, in terms of Ferrari, yes, he was unsuccessful. It's a bit of a poison chalice seat to get into if your name's not Michael Schumacher or Kimi Räikkönen, luckily. But I feel like with what they've given him, he was the closest to get a title at Ferrari compared to other drivers that have been there in recent years. And the move to McLaren made no sense. I can't defend McLaren at that time because we were a shit show. The whole allure of, you know, McLaren Honda link up, trying to do a new Senna, you know, rebrand.
Yeah,
That didn't work out because at the end of the day, the car was absolutely awful for him and Jensen. It wasn't good enough to compete at the highest level at that period of time, especially with Mercedes coming up. And when you look back at the mechanical failures of those cars, they really didn't have a chance of competing from that point. So if we're talking about career moves, I would say Vettel made the safer choices in his career. Obviously, he was at Red Bull, went through the Red Bull program, and then he made the choice to go to Ferrari. We don't know how the Aston Martin move is going to work out, but I'll say it's quite baffling the decision to go to McLaren. But I feel like he's remained consistent throughout his career and didn't really have like down moments where he was absolutely awful driving.
Yeah.
Kwame, come on, man. Kwame, I'm gonna come to you first, yeah, bro.
Yep.
Wait, sorry, Anik. I just finish off that, right? Bar one of his rookie seasons, Alonso, if you can't win a title, the minimum is beat your teammate, right? And he did that almost every season, bar one, where Jason got him back 4 points.
I shall get onto my part. I'll get onto my part.
But yeah, so no, that's me. I'm done. Sorry, please. Kwame,
Go for it, Kwame. Come on, let's see if you can unpick Alonso's career choices. Obviously, all those moves he's made since Red Bull, not Red Bull. Sorry, since Renault.
I mean, the teammates. I'm gonna adjust that point. He had Fisichella. Fisichella, that's my favorite. My first driver. I'm going to say for that actually in mind, but Fizzy, he was not a good he was only good at bad cars. He's getting W's in Jordan, getting points on Force India, but in that Renault, he was not up to scratch. Who else alongside that team? Okay, Hamilton, GOAT, so you know we'll allow that. Went back to Renault. He had Nelson Piquet.
Yeah. Who we just spoke about.
Let's not talk about Nelson Piquet. After that, went to Ferrari and Massa, yeah, after post 08, 09, wasn't the same driver. Bottas showed him up at Williams, so that answers your question. So that was that, and then he went to McLaren. He was quite even with Jensen, to be honest with you. He was quite even with Jensen.
He beat Jensen though. He beat Jensen over the period of time.
Certain seasons, Alonso did better than Jensen. Certain seasons, Jensen better, but overall, yeah,
Alonso better statistically.
And then
it's not debate, it's statistics. It's there.
He beat Van Dorn comfortably. Again, Van Dorn's a rookie, so what does that say? And now he's at Alpine against,
you forgot about Grosjean.
Grosjean as well. But Grosjean as well, that's a half season at Renault, and he was, again...
wait, you're naming drivers that he had it wasn't his choice who he drove against.
I know, but he said teammates. He said he
forgot Raikkonen.
Teammates. My point is his teammates weren't amazing.
Raikkonen.
Except for Kimi. Okay, Kimi was class, but
hold on. Let's not talk about Kimi. Come on, Kimi has been on a wave. Kimmy's been on. No, we can't use. We cannot use Kimi as a measuring stick here. Yeah, he's been on a wave since 2007. Even in 2007, he was on a wave. I'm sorry, we can't use Kimi as a measuring stick here.
Was he not? It should be a measuring stick because wasn't he both their teammates at Ferrari?
He was, and in Ferrari,
he was.
Kimi.
And Alonso beat him down worse than what
Vettel. That was the last season at USA when he was team with Vettel. That's his boy. Like Vettel showed Kimi. It was only when
Leclerc came in.
Okay, cool. Huh?
Alonso fisted up Kimi,
Kimi then was just vibes, man. It was just vibes. It's just vibes. He wanted
this is off the back of Lotus. He worked with vibes in Lotus.
I know he did things. He did things Lotus, exactly. He got them done so well. He got them broke.
Can you speak on Vettel losing out to Leclerc twice and Danny Ricciardo, please?
Yeah. Good point, JL. Let's talk about Vettel's career choices as well. But yeah, finish up, Kwame.
That's it. Danny Rick. That was a new engine that came in, a new era of F1 where the chassis of the Red Bull wasn't up to scratch, and that's when we went to the hybrid era. So that's when the issues with Renault and all this Sakura nonsense that Horner tried to deflect. And And with Leclerc, listen, that Ferrari just was towards the end of Ferrari just wasn't for Seb. Wasn't for Seb. But
So 1 second.
he was very close to winning the championship though at one point in Ferrari.
So Danny Rick.
It's like also.
I hear that, but all of that. But why was Danny Rick, who came from Toro Rosso, able to beat him in that same car, and Leclerc came from Haas? So you're talking about two drivers who came from lesser teams, who were 2 years. I think they were in their second season or so when they came to become Vettel's teammate, and they both dusted him. What?
Let me ask this.
Because you're trying to get out of Red Bull, man. Because he had a performance clause, so we dropped it.
No.
So that's master plan.
Tell me why.
Do you know what I mean? That's all it was.
This is my only question, and I ask this for all Vettel fans, not just you guys. Yeah, why does Vettel need optimal conditions to even be a decent driver?
Hey, listen. So certain drivers.
Why does he need the car to be perfect and everything to be like right there for him?
But
the whole team
you've
came
seen what
to
he's
even
done,
put in
though.
decent performances.
I mean, you've seen what he's done when the car's optimal, though. You've seen what he's done.
Why do you need the car optimal?
Some people need.
Danny Rick didn't need the car optimal.
Some people need teams to be built around them. Some people you can't let them just be exposed on their ones. Some people need a team to be built around them. Some people.
Oh, it needs to be handheld.
So it depends on circumstance and not your driving ability. Okay, I see. Who's the better driver? Remember, this is the question.
But under the circumstances, though, who was better? The stats don't have Seb.
Listen, yeah.
Okay, who's
okay?
let me ask you a question.
Let me say this about Alonso's time at McLaren. Yeah, the guy had 24 retirements due to technical issues with the car. Out of the 60
sounds like an Alonso problem to me.
24. So is Alonso supposed to be in the factory fixing the Honda engine?
Well, I would if the engine was that shit. He said it was a GP2 engine.
Is Vettel asking for optimum conditions, or he's leaving?
How do you know he wasn't in the room?
He left because of Leclerc. He left because of Danny Rick.
He didn't leave because of Leclerc.
He didn't leave
because of Leclerc. Because he wants to make your little Monegasque star the star of the show.
Hold on. Why does Leclerc keep coming up? I mean,
because of JL. That's why. Jesus Christ.
Let me check this out. A four-time world champion at one of the flagship teams of Formula One at Ferrari, and they made the conscious decision to say, "We're on to Leclerc now." What does that say about you?
Not only that, you give Leclerc the longest contract in Ferrari history whilst having a 4-time world champion.
Listen, they were scared of listen, the way Formula moves, it's now, every team's got a young driver, so Ferrari probably are scared, oh no, we're going to lose Leclerc. We need to back through our young drivers. And that's not Seb's fault. That's not Seb.
Yo, my man's younger than Lewis. My man's younger than Lewis, though.
It's not Seb.
My man's younger than Lewis, though.
It's not Seb.
Yeah, but that's the goal, though. You can't compare it to Lewis. Come on.
No.
If
it's we're scared, we need a younger driver to beat Lewis, why not stick with the 4-time world champion Vettel?
Because then man toxic. That's why.
If you
gave him the car, if you gave him the right car, he would have been capable of these challenges.
So that rationale. Wait a second. Richard, you just made a point saying if they gave him the right car, then he would have done what he needed to do. Why does that rationale not apply to Alonso at Ferrari, please?
Sounds like a him problem to me. I don't know.
Oh, okay. There was an awkward silence there. It seems like he was quite stumped.
Okay, so
you know what? Let me. Okay, Richard.
So what are you trying to ask? Tell me what you trying to ask. Because what you're saying? Oh, Vettel left Ferrari. Vettel didn't leave Ferrari.
No, because excuses are made for Vettel, but it can't be applied to anybody else. He needs optimal conditions.
Well, you make excuses for Alonso as well.
Listen. I'm trying to tell you right now, yeah, that with Vettel, why does he need the circumstances to be perfect before he gets fisted up by other drivers?
Ain't same with Alonso, no. Ain't Alonso the same person who's complaining.
Alonso's not getting fisted up by his teammate.
No, not fisted. No, I'm not saying that, but Alonso's not complaining about conditions and McLaren saying, we got a GP2 engine, this car's so slow. All of this, he was complaining. Renault days, he was complaining as well. Don't try to make
it look complaining.
Why does Alonso need to be toxic in order to
have a
competent working environments?
Is this Love Island?
And still results to nothing.
Is this driving? Is this Love Island or is this driving?
It's driving.
He's talking about Love Island.
He's driving.
Talking about babes.
Is it a personality?
No one talks about babes.
So why are you talking about top?
No. But on that.
Okay, but Mahad.
Mahad, you raised a good point there, and I want to somehow, in some way, switch over into the final segment of the pod. And I want to talk about their current form and the person that they are. So let me come to you first on this, Richard. If you were a young driver, which probably for you, not too long ago, and you're entering a team, who would you want to be your co-driver? Would you want it to be Sebastian Vettel, or would it be Fernando Alonso? A person or a driver that you can look up to, learn from, understand racing, understand Formula One. Which one would it be?
I'd rather be Seb, I can't lie to you. Because I think Seb is more of that mentor sort of thing. He's also got the equity of having, 53 wins, so 4-wheel championships. He's got the equity of, the CV that he has. Like, of course, I want to learn off Seb. Of course, especially in his spell at Red Bull, the pressure situations that he's been in terms of the way he's had to win world championships and whatnot. Of course, I want to learn off him how to, tap into that zone. Some of the drives that he's had as well have been, absolutely amazing as well. Why would I want to be, with some grumpy ass, toxic ass Alonso who, might not tell me shit? Do you know what I mean? Like he's getting on now. He's 40. Hold on, JL. Hold on. He's getting on now. He's 40 plus. He's chatting about, I want a third world championship and all this shit. Do you think he's really got time to be mentoring and trying to help me out and whatnot? No, where Seb, might be like, what? I can say if I retire now, I'm happy with my career. I've done my thing, sort of thing. Of course, I want to learn off someone like him. Do you know what I mean? It's a case of like, if you're at a job and you've got two different managers. You've got the one, they're both, similar levels of experience. Maybe one's got a few more accolades than the other, sort of thing. But you're analysing down to, okay, who's actually sound and who's that proper twat? I'm not going to go with the twat because I'm not going to get no valuable information out of them. I'm going to go with the one who can get on a bit more better and still learn from. It's not like there's a massive disparity between experience and, what they've achieved in the sport. There's not some huge disparity. You're not comparing bloody Grosjean and Lewis. Do you know what I mean? Like, Alonso's won titles, fair enough, but yeah, of course, I'd rather be with Seb. Yeah.
Mahad, yourself? You're entering a new team. Who do you want? Well, obviously, you're going to pick Alonso, but yeah, why would you want Alonso as your co-driver?
I feel like I shouldn't even answer this question because I thought we were talking about Formula One and driving, not mentoring programs.
We're talking about them as a person.
This ain't the Club Scouts. This ain't the Club Scouts.
Bro,
do you know what are you talking about? Do you know why Vettel? Do you know why Vettel's? You would rather want Vettel as a mentor because he's washed. He's not a threat. He's done. He's 32 and washed. Name the pod 32 and washed. 34 and washed.
Then your goats. Your goats went 100 races out the podium. Explain that one then. He's the one who's fucking washed. Not Vettel.
If you want to learn how to, all the F1 history,
be a twat,
be a driver, or this is what you're supposed to do, or so on and so on. Or if you want to learn how to,
Alonso ain't teaching that. What you want?
Alonso
really got time for that?
Alonso's like, that tough parent, that will just beat you down and teach you lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Then the kid runs away from home and never to be seen again.
Stroll is already better. Stroll might be better than Vettel, right?
They still
This is how questionable.
It's a question.
Right now.
It's a question. Legit question.
Why are people calling for Vettel to be retired and he's 34? There was question marks about him even re-signing. Stroll's like, should we re-sign this guy? I don't know.
It's even not
you listen to F1 Twitter gossip.
Turn out
the F1 TMZ and all that.
All right, do you know what? Yeah, do you know what? I'm gonna take this a bit off topic here because if I was asking for advice about how much ones I should be thrown in a strip club, I'd ask Richard.
Wait, what would you say?
Appropriate.
You think it's just froze?
Get some thoughts about other F1 drivers and what they think. Oh shit!
No, your things just froze. What the hell?
What's going on there? No, I just heard ones in a strip club and all of a sudden the stream just fucking it just cut out. Guys, bro, we're gonna get cancelled. Listen, we're gonna get cancelled any minute right now. Yeah.
You can edit that out. Yeah.
No, we keep
That's
it.
my fault. That was my internet cut out. Okay.
I'm saying Alonso because listen, yeah, I don't want a teammate who, if I beat him, he's gonna quit again. We're talking about your guy Vettel, who's quit twice, well, multiple times because he can't face being losing to a younger driver. Also, who is experienced, multiple different teams, different situations, whereby I know if I beat him, he ain't gonna complain. It's cool because he knows he's here to actually help the future generation. Your guy just doesn't know he's washed. Listen, I've seen Vettel on TV more pushing the new Aston Martin than I've seen him in races.
So I think what? So do you mind just repeating that again, Jail? I was like,
okay.
I've seen him do adverts.
Yeah, you're shouting bare shit. It's just promo. What's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything?
Okay.
That's the only reason why he's there. It's promo. That's all he is.
No.
He's always there.
But to be fair,
he's there to do.
He's there, James Bond promo. That's it. Spin around. If he wants to, if a young driver wants to learn how to pirouette on the track, Vettel's you.
Nah, not even that. See, Vettel.
I mean, wasn't
he's really mentoring Mick Schumacher as is, and that guy is doing a Mazepin.
That's a bad omen. That's a bad omen.
Next right guy, that's Mick. You see right there. Vettel was really doing this.
Okay.
He's also trying to, take wins of Ocon. Be like, yeah, I
Sorry,
won, bro.
isn't that
win?
Sorry, Mick is German. That's a German thing. Nothing to do with anything else than because they're both from Germany.
I think. Can I just say something?
Because they're German.
Can I just say something? Because we're just
go for it, Mahad. Go for it, Mahad.
We're just some guys talking about.
Alonso and Science.
We're just some guys talking about Formula One. Yeah, I think we should listen to what other people in the industry and what other drivers think about Sebastian Vettel, because they would know more, right? Because they're Formula One drivers.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a better opinion. So. I've got a couple quotes here. When asked about who was the better teammate, Daniel Ricciardo said, "Max is better. He's more challenging," which is a strange thing to say when you've had both of them as teammates. Lewis Hamilton says, "I have a lot of respect for him, but it's difficult to assess how good he really is because he hasn't been on a team with a teammate like Alonso. He's always had teammates like Webber, that's not on his level. And he's had Kimi, who's past his peak." We've had people saying, we had Perez, we've had Rosberg, we had Kovalainen, all picking Alonso over Vettel in terms of, saying, yeah, Alonso's a better driver than Vettel. And one thing I noticed, I was doing a bit of research and I was thinking, why, both of them drove for Ferrari, right? Why does nobody slander Alonso at Ferrari? But when you check all the old school, engineers, mechanics, everybody that was at Ferrari at the time of Vettel saying this guy is overrated. These people are close to F1, more close than all of us. Why would they say that? I feel like they're better evaluators of talent than we are.
As Ferrari fan, I would tell you, when Alonso drove for us, we felt good. Yes, the car wasn't great, but we didn't blame him. We're like, cool. Vettel divides us. He divides the fan base. Because the question is, are you actually that good? Or was it the car you had? That's an open question. Sorry?
He was there longer.
So he's got more wins than him, so.
He was there longer.
By what season was it?
And it's only what 3 wins, 3 extra wins. What are we doing?
Well, all counts.
It's semantics.
All counts. You've been doing that on pod, so
who's closer to winning the title? That's all that matters. Was Vettel anywhere close to winning the title?
Did even them exceed? No, so it's a pointless comment.
Are we sure? Or was that we're talking about 88 points behind Lewis? Is that really a title challenge?
Well, yeah.
He came second.
I mean, he's up against Lewis.
Losing 3 points and 5 points.
Second isn't a title challenge.
Boy, your boy didn't make it across the line. So
F1 was starving after the Rosberg battle. Yeah, Rosberg and Lewis battle. We were making up battles. That was not a title battle. Lewis.
Bro, you're doing semantics right now, arguing over 88 points or whatever it was, and 3 points. They both came second. What points do you want about?
Guys,
You're
we
just
could
saying,
go
our
on.
was more sexy than your one. What? Come on, bro. Do better, man.
Like I said.
Come on, bro. Do
Fellas,
better.
fellas. We could
They're
go.
both in the same car. They're both in the same car right now. Alonso beating them over the season. Vettel is finished.
100%. 100%.
Vettel is finished.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys. Final question to all of you guys before we wrap up the pod and take it to the streets for a vote. Mahad, I'm going to come to you first. What would you rate Alonso's career out of 10 thus far?
7.5.
JL?
Yeah, I can't argue above that. 7.5.
Kwame? Talking about Alonso here, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be shameless. I'm gonna be honest. 7.
And Richard?
6.
And Richard, let me come back to you for Vettel out of 10.
8.5.
Kwame?
7.5.
JL?
5.
5?
Come on.
World champion.
Four-time world champion, rating 5.
No.
Oh my god.
No. Thing.
I don't hear rationale. I don't hear Mahad. What's your rating?
Okay.
I don't hear rationale.
Wait. No. I'll explain. It's context, right? Context.
He got muted.
Hey, they muted.
He muted you.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
I'm gonna say.
You love the shit out of me.
Bro, that there is an Alonso move on an Alonso fan. That is straight.
No, because you're talking about a 4-time world champion who was expected to do great things and hasn't. So
He was a wonder kid. He turned out to be Robinho.
He didn't expect to do good things.
So
Alright, cool. You said it on record. Winning 4-wheel championship don't mean shit. Cool.
That's him.
No, it does. You know what? 5.5. 5.5.
You said what you said. You said what you said, King. Do you?
And Mahad, finally.
Vettel, I'm gonna give him a 5.8. He ain't been good since Bobby Schmurder was up. Before he was up.
Your boy ain't been good since Teletext happened. What you talking about?
He ain't been good for a while.
Bro, your boy ain't been good since Daniel Craig has been James Bond. 2006. Since Casino Royale came out. What? You're talking about Bobby Schmurder?
Hey, listen.
Guys.
Alonso's been good.
Throw your hat in the air, Mahad. Go on. Throw your hat in the air. Show us your hairline. Go on.
Wait.
Hey, listen. That's a bit of an attack. Cool head shot.
When you put a tweet out, I think most fans agree with that it's Alonso.
I got hate from Alonso fans this week.
Yeah,
Alonso fans don't want to know me this week. I don't want to speak on Alonso.
Hey, do you know what? If it's the litmus test, yeah. If you think Vettel was a better driver than Alonso, you don't know Formula 1.
Simple as. Okay, so guys, if you are obviously watching this back on the YouTube, get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think. Who's a better driver? Who's had a better career, Alonso or Vettel? This is going to go up on Twitter as well. We'll put a poll up. Just answer us straight. Who had the greater legacy? Who had the greatest career? Who's a better driver, Alonso or Vettel? Mahad, JL, Kwame, Richard. It's been a pleasure. It's been an ultimate fight card. The first one of many more to come. I suppose with that, we got to wrap it up. I know I said some stuff last week about Hamilton, and I apologise to you for here. I know we can't meet in person. If we did meet in person, then the gloves will definitely be off. So I apologise for everything I said last week and since June about Lewis Hamilton. This is my official apology. I've still been sipping my wine. So, yeah. Do you guys accept my apology, yeah? Thank you. Appreciate that. Guys, until next week.
Okay, carry on. He's on parole.
Yeah, on parole.
No, I'm playing. But yeah, guys, until next week, we'll be back where we will be reviewing the Turkish Grand Prix. Peace.